Okay, guys. A short time ago, Mr. Howard called me to offer his congratulations. I thanked him for that and the dignity with which he extended those congratulations. We should celebrate and honour the way in which we conduct this great Australian democracy of ours. And it's been on display again tonight. I want to acknowledge now for the entire Australian nation and publicly recognise Mr. Howard's extensive contribution to public service in Australia. There are big differences between us, but we share a common pride in this great nation of ours, Australia. And I want to wish Mr. and Mrs. Howard and their family all the very best for the future. Today, Australia has looked to the future. Today, the Australian people have decided that we as a nation will move forward. To plan for the future, to prepare for the future, to embrace the future, and together, as Australians, to unite and write a new page in our nation's history. To make this great country of ours, Australia, even greater. Today, many people across Australia have voted Labor for the very first time. Today, many people across Australia have voted Labor for the first time in a long, long time. And I want to thank all those people in Australia who have placed their trust in me and my team. And I say tonight to the nation, I will never take their sacred trust for granted. I understand that this is a great privilege, and I will do everything to honour the trust which has been extended to me. I also understand there is a great responsibility involved in national leadership, and I stand ready to accept that responsibility. I am determined to honour the confidence which has been extended to us by the people of our great land. And I say to all of those who have voted for us today, I say to each and every one of them that I will be a Prime Minister for all Australians. A Prime Minister for Indigenous Australians. Australians who have been born here and Australians who have come here from afar and have contributed to the great diversity that is our nation, Australia. A Prime Minister for our cities and our towns, a Prime Minister for rural Australia, which right now is experiencing the worst drought our country has known. for our men and women in uniform serving in difficult and dangerous environments around the world, for all our states and territories of this great nation and Commonwealth of ours, I will be Prime Minister for all Australians. And I make this solemn pledge to the nation: I will always govern in the national interest. And my door will always be open to men and women of goodwill who want to participate in making our country even greater in the future. Friends, tomorrow the work begins. Australia's long-term challenges demand a new consensus across our country. I'm determined to use the office of Prime Minister to forge that consensus. It is necessary for us to embrace the future as a nation united, forged with a common vision. I want to put aside the old battles of the past, the old battles between business and unions, the old battles between growth and the environment, the old and tired battles between federal and state, the old battles between public and private. It's time for a new page to be written in our nation's history. The future is too important for us not to work together to embrace the challenges of the future and to carve out our nation's destiny. We have put before the Australian people a plan. It's our agenda for work. And you know something? Everything I have said through this election campaign and in the year leading up to it is our agenda for work. To start building a world-class education system. To embrace the long-term funding needs of our public hospital systems. To act with urgency on the great challenges of climate change and water. To build a 21st century infrastructure for a 21st century economy. And to get the balance right between fairness and flexibility in the workplaces of a nation. And to ensure by that and by other practical assistance to working families in Australia that the great Australian fair go has a future and not just a past. And through all this, to make sure we keep our economy strong, but make sure it delivers for working families as well. And this task as well, to remain ever vigilant in the defence of our nation's national security. The task ahead will not be an easy one, I understand that, I grasp that. But this government that I will lead will work with energy and determination and vigour and with fresh ideas to embrace each of these challenges and to prosecute this agenda for work for the nation. I also say this on this national occasion to our friends and allies around the world, that I look forward as the next Prime Minister of Australia